All right, John, thank you so much. It is 6:12 this morning. Well, April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and a rash of recent fatal car crashes involving senior citizens driving has brought attention to this graying population packing our roadways. And here to tell us how local families, how you can help if you have an elderly loved one who insists on driving, is Bob Horman, owner of Senior Helpers of Waterville. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And this is a big problem, and it's coming to light now in April because we're dedicating more time to it. But put it in perspective for us. How big of a problem is this on our roadways right now?
Well, as you said, there have been a rash of recent stories of the elderly getting in fatal car accidents. But there are in the next 10 to 20 years, there's going to be over 70 million Americans over the age of 65, and more than 90% of them will be licensed to drive. And as we age, you know, there are issues and different things happen that make us a little less safe on the road sometimes.
And you mentioned they will have a driver's license because you can get a license and still it won't detect certain things that may alter your judgment while you're out on the roadways. Maybe you have Alzheimer's disease. You can still pass a driving test. So what do we do?
Well, at Senior Helpers, we've created a safe driving checklist, and it's really helpful for the children of elderly parents to go through with their parents and make sure that they're still safe to be on the roads. The checklist includes things like just being aware of medications. People don't think of medications as impacting driving, but the average adult over 65 takes 2 to 7 medications a day, and so many of them can cause drowsiness or just affect, you know, their cognitive ability in some cases. So it's always safest to, when you're taking a new medication, to wait a day or two before you get back on the road, just to make sure you know how it's going to affect you.
So children really need to be aware of the daily routines of their parents or their grandparents or the loved ones that they may be taking care of.
Exactly. And there's so many things that you really don't think of. As you mentioned, Alzheimer's and dementia. It's easy to pass a driving test because it really is something that they've been doing their entire life, and you don't forget how to drive, but what you might forget is where you're going, or your judgment might be slowed, your reflexes might be slowed a little bit as well. So that's one of the things on our safe driving checklist that we want the adult children to go through with their parents.
Yeah, and there could be a lot of pressure for the child as well, because you don't want to take the independence away.
Yeah.
You know, you're the child telling the person that raised you when to drive or what to do, or should you be taking your medication. So what if there's resistance? How do you handle that?
I would say there's always resistance to that conversation. It's a really tension-filled conversation a lot of times, because that's your mom, that's your dad, and it's hard to tell them that they're no longer safe on the road. What we really suggest, sometimes hiring a caregiver from Senior Helpers to drive your parents around can really make them feel that they're not trapped in their homes. They're not losing their independence, but they're staying safer by having someone else take them to their doctor's appointments, or get them to the grocery store, or just get out and see friends and stay more active and engaged.
And Bob, you mentioned checking the medications, having the eyes checked, be aware of sleep issues. There's so many more tips that we don't have time to get to, but where can folks go for more information?
For more information, you can visit our website. It's just seniorhelpers.com, or you can call us in the office. Our phone number is 419-794-1090.
All right, Bob, thank you so much for joining us this
morning.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. It is 6:16 this morning. We have to take a break. We'll have more coming up next. Stay right here.